Enlightening commentary. How many people do I think are on clenbuterol in the fitness scene? I have no idea and I don't care. I have no idea and I don't care. I feel like the drugs that put a special pressure on your heart are like, especially drugs that you could either elevate your heart rate artificially through the entire day, or you could just eat like a few less 100 calories. You probably should just eat a little bit less, right? I could definitely have a misunderstanding about what clenbuterol is supposed to do, but isn't it just a stimulant? Just elevates your heart rate the entire time? So that you're just like, your heart is beating faster so you burn more calories? Why don't you just go for a walk and eat less instead of taxing your heart artificially all day long? Right, so what does it do, Panzer? Doesn't it just elevate your heart rate? Maybe I'm wrong. But honestly, if you're taking drugs to lose fat, you're an idiot. Like if you're gonna take drugs, that's to be big. If you're just taking drugs to get leaner, you're an idiot. Just eat less food. Just get in a diet. Losing fat is not hard. It's simple and it's not hard to do. You have to be a little hungry and have a little bit of discipline. It's not hard to lose fat. It's hard to be really big and lean at the same time, right? But yeah, if you're taking drugs just to lose fat, you're an idiot. Fast sense waste, fast way to burn fat? Wrong. Caloric deficit is how you lose fat. But lifting weights is great, and if fasting helps you maintain a deficit, that's great too. Yeah. But I guess, does that answer your question, Panzera? How many people? I have no idea. But I think if you're doing that, you're an idiot. So, yeah. You can get bone dry lean naturally. What's harder to do is get bone dry lean and massive naturally. It can be done. It can be done, but it's harder to do. Oh, wow. Let's go to Maldraxxus. We'll get beefed up a little bit. Like Christian Bale. Christian Bale is not massive. But he did get very skinny. But what he did was not healthy, right? That was for a role, but no. Here. Here are two kind of fun videos to look at of me getting lean. He got really lean. Yeah, but he was starving himself. That wasn't like a fitness focused fat loss regimen, right? He was doing a crash diet that probably hurt him, right? Yeah, it's not a good idea. Right, right. That's the thing about drugs, citizen. You have to keep using them, and it's like, why? It's just, I don't know. It's not for me. But I think it's even stupider if you're using drugs just to lose fat, because fat loss is really easy. Noxious, but being in a deficit does all of that too, right? Being in a deficit of calories burns glycogen and burns fat, right? That's how fat loss works. Fat loss hard as fuck? It's not. It really isn't. It's very simple. It takes some discipline, and it might take some practice to like trial and error it out to find something that works consistently for you. But you can fast but not be in a deficit of calories, right? You're like, I fasted for 8 hours today. Now I'm going to eat 6,000 calories over the course of 4 hours, and that's intermittent fasting right there. And it's like, no, you're gonna get fat if you do that. If 6,000 calories puts you in a surplus, doesn't matter if you eat it in one meal, it's still a surplus of calories. So that's how it works. That's my deficit. Yeah, the video I just linked is the thing that you need. It's just caloric deficit just refers to eating fewer calories than you burn. That's all there is to it. You're skinny with fast fat levels is how you gain weight, eat in a surplus. So you gotta eat more calories than you burn. Same thing. Here you go. Same thing, but just a teeny bit different. Yeah. What do I think about him? What do you mean? Like, in what way? Don't know what you mean by that. What do you think of this person? What do you mean? What do you mean? How do you track calories you burn? By exercising consistently. I don't usually worry about the calories I burn as much. I just exercise consistently and then keep my food intake consistent as well. Then it sort of irons out that variable over the course of a week or so. I'm not really familiar, Dandel, sorry. You can tweet me a picture, Caleb, if you want to. But I don't really know what you mean. Jugger's overkill? Nah, it's good. It's good. That's good. That's a bummer. About him, Aatrox. That's just a gallon right there. It's a good old gallon. Had to eat 6 meals a day. Yeah, I mean, if that's what works for you, sure. You got to eat a caloric surplus if you're trying to gain weight, right? Whether it's a couple meals a day or 6 meals a day, you know? Because if you just can't really stomach a whole lot of food in one meal, then you got to eat more often, right? Yep, a combination of eating less and exercising B-norm can help put you in a deficit. Are you ever worried about plateauing with workouts gains? Not like worried about it. I mean, if what you're doing isn't getting you where you want to be, then you got to change. You know? Like, oh, okay. Fat loss isn't easy? It is. People just got no discipline. And there's so much misinformation out there. It is easy, though. It's simple, I should say. How about that? Sometimes being hungry and having to deal with that is not necessarily easy. But like anything, if you continue to practice your discipline, you're gonna get better at it, right? So. But yeah, when you have like really messed up habits with food and you have all these misconceptions and misinformation about what actually causes fat loss and what doesn't, it can be kind of confusing. But here I am giving you a 4.5 minute video that tells you how to do it, and then I'm saying it's easy. Watch the video. Not making you pay for anything, not giving you any BS about this food is magic, you know. This macro balance is magic. Not eating during this part of the day is magic. No, you track your calories. There's an element of trial and error to it. If you're eating a certain amount, and you're gaining weight or staying the same, and you want to lose weight, you got to eat a little less or exercise a little bit more to achieve that deficit. Being hungry sucks? Sure. Sure. Noxus, unfortunately, I've heard from reliable sources that guy is complete BS, unfortunately, Noxus. But if that's where you're getting information, I think I might be able to see where you're getting this sort of fixation on fasting rather than focusing on having the energy balance be the determining factor for fat loss. But that could happen. Yeah. Yeah. Even my trainer and dietitian, what? Agree with what statement? Which statement? Oh, I bet your trainer and your dietitian want you to think it's hard, so they keep paying you to tell you how to do it. Yeah, I bet. Of course. Absolutely. It's in their best interest to make you think it's really hard and really complicated. Absolutely. I mean, when you like, have they ever... I imagine they have, but just want to make sure. Have they ever, like, sat you down and said, this is the amount of food that we want to eat, calorie-wise and macro-wise, and then if this doesn't help us lose weight, then we'll adjust a little bit? Have they ever done that? Because if not, you're getting scammed, straight up, or they don't know what they're doing. I mean, they might mean well, but if they're not telling you and talking to you about that, then you're getting scammed. Straight up. Yep. This is what it is. Hey, have I ever only had water for 40 hours? No. You can, if it makes you feel good, go for it, but I recommend eating food every day, generally. I don't think, like, that kind of stuff is probably not sustainable, but if it makes you feel good and you just kind of feel like going crazy, sure. Give it a try. See if you like it, I guess, but I wouldn't recommend it necessarily. Drinking water is after eating is fine. I feel good drinking water after I eat. Yeah. Get this question all the time? We do, yeah. Diet and training. Here, I got a video about conduits too. Yep. I got you. Yep. Food is an addiction, plain and simple. Well, you do need to eat, right? But there are ways of eating and controlling how you eat that can help change the way your body looks and performs. So compete in bodybuilding? Yeah, I will. Right now we're in the off season with the pandemic and all, so we're just kind of trying to make some gains. Didn't we already? Oh, this is something different this time. We're getting us some anime real quick. You like you in the stream, I just can't get behind it. What exactly can you not get behind? The fact that I think it's fairly straightforward how to lose fat? So I will definitely say it can absolutely be a challenge to push through hunger and to sort of break through the BS that you might hear. Yeah, I'll give you that. But in terms of like, if you can like have that discipline and if you can like work on that, then it's really straightforward. How about if I say it's simple? It takes discipline, for sure. And it takes adherence, which makes it, in my opinion, kind of straightforward. But sure, it can be a challenge if you're not used to it. It's a challenge for me too. Sure, we can go with that. I think I missed one of these things, didn't I? I guess we'll just zip around. Pretty sure I missed one. But in terms of how to do it, pretty simple. But if you make an honest decision with yourself to like be in a small deficit, then it is actually pretty easy, right? Like your diet, if your diet, I'll say it another way. If your diet is like making you feel like you're just gonna die every day and you have no energy and you're starving constantly, then you are dieting in a way that's more aggressive than it needs to be, I would say, right? So a diet that's like set up for long-term success shouldn't be a diet that's like horrible to get through every single day. Like you should probably feel like, yeah, I could eat a little more today, but I'm also good, you know, I'm good. I can handle this. So I'll rephrase that for you. Eating healthy is usually more expensive, yeah, but investing in you and your health is probably worth it, right? And it probably is less expensive than a bunch of hospital bills later on, potentially, if you want to think of it that way. But yeah, investing in your health is like super worth it, so. And I also don't know if I really agree that it's more expensive either, though. I'm not sure I'm 100% on board with that, but even if it was. But I will tell you, the rice and beans really does not cost very much, you know, for example. It really doesn't cost that much. So, yeah. It ain't really all that expensive. But these are things people say, right? You think just changing the type of food you eat and eating when you're hungry can be effective from a guy that eats, goes out to eat twice a week most of the time? I mean, it could be, but it's like if you want to go somewhere and you just like kind of walk in approximately the direction that you think it is, you might get there. Or you could like use a GPS and like say, I'm here and I want to go there, and it says do this stuff, and then you'll probably get there a little bit more effectively, right? But you could sort of eyeball it. Like, I'm eating what I think are good foods, and I'm eating twice a day. Maybe I end up in a deficit. You know. While we're talking about doctor and stuff, definitely would need to reiterate that I am not a nutritionist or a doctor or any sort of medical professional whatsoever. I'm just a dude who likes talking about gains. But unfortunately, there is a fair amount of misinformation that's really confusing to people, and it makes them feel like it's way more difficult than it actually is to accomplish their goals. What do you want, Sidious? You have me on follow. Get your gigantic spooky mount off of me, man. Out of here. Just walking up on me like you're crazy. Jeez Louise. Get your jailer mount off of me. Gained a crazy amount of muscle since Kata? You think so? Hard to tell. Do them quests? No, you're not. You got me on follow. Trying to show off your mount. The heck? Alright, let's go. Am I gonna outrun you in travel form though? Is travel form as fast as the mount? Okay. I think I might fly over here though. Just heads up. Ooh, Sarabane's up, guys, by the way. Yes. Just creep. Here, take the flight path real quick. It's just you and your gigantic mount is creeping up on me. The heck? The heck? Just wanted to make it clear that genes have a lot to say in your metabolism and all that. Doesn't change the fact that you need to be in a deficit to lose fat. Yeah, some people who, yeah, just different people will have different metabolic demands. Sure. But if you want to be in a deficit, you have to follow track your intake, have an idea of where you're at, and adjust. Everybody pretty much has to do that, right? You know what I mean? Any instant recipes? Certainly could. But yeah, being like, I have a fast metabolism, so I can't gain weight is not accurate. Or I have a slow metabolism, so I can't lose weight is also inaccurate, right? Just different. It's just different. That's cool, casual. That's good. It's good. Right. Yeah, but I mean, different people have different metabolic needs. That's why this amount of calories is not gonna necessarily be the best thing for everybody. So if you have like some online coach that just like writes everybody the same program, you know, could work. I mean, if they put you on 1,500 calories, you're probably gonna lose weight. But is that optimal? Not sure. The levels can differ, OFC, of how much. Yeah, I mean, the amount of calories that you need vary. That's what I just said, yeah. Did. I do agree with that. But the methodology of how to determine, you know, what you need to do to lose fat is kind of still the same. I think the original thing that you got mad at me for saying is that fat loss is easy. But that's different. Lose the weight on street food. What place do you think can help achieve that? Come here. Come here, J-Roar. Come here. Come here. I'll tell you something. Track your fucking calories. Alright, did you hear that? Did you get that? Let me link this to you again. There you go. So if you don't know what you're eating, you can either make a reasonable guess, or you can like pick things that you think you know, right? So like, I don't know how many calories are in this double chicken cheeseburger that I just had deep fried with the donut on top of it. What do? I guess I just do whatever I mean, I had no control. I ate some street food. What do I do? This is what I always eat. And it's like, or you could be like, I'm gonna get that little bit of rice with a little bit of chicken, and that might be a little bit easier for you to track, right? Or you can have your food that you want to eat available for lunch, you know? Like, there's all these like imaginary barriers that are like, I can't do this because of I eat food from a food truck twice a week. So, must not be that important to you then, I guess. You gotta find some solutions here. I can help put you in contact with them, but it's like there has to be like a level of importance to you where you are the one who are able to find solutions to these kind of unique but not very challenging problems. You got it, Vault. No problem, man. Yeah. We have a set in stone streaming schedule. We're like an hour late today, but yeah, exclamation mark schedule is where it's at. Losing weight is easy if you have discipline, yeah. But fortunately, discipline is one of those things that you can build, right? I say it a lot, but discipline is actually a skill. And like any other skill, you can get better at discipline by practicing it. So if tracking your calories is like, you mean to tell me I have to put everything I eat on a food scale before I eat it? That's ridiculous. And it's like, that might sound like a lot initially, but it becomes very second nature eventually. And if you want to get good at that, you just do it every day. And it's like some days in the beginning of a diet, you know, you're like, I was good today, so I'm gonna go eat this shit. And it's like, you might do that eventually, and then as you continue to build your discipline and have your priorities shift and recognize, you're like, oh, this is that moment that I keep telling myself to not do. Is I can feel it. I can feel this thought that comes over me where it's like, this is the moment where I feel like I want to eat this crappy thing because whatever, and then I always regret it afterwards. This is that moment, and you recognize it, you're like, okay, here's where I just don't do that. And it might be kind of tough to resist early on, but eventually you build that discipline, you build that habit, and you remember the long-term goal, and you assign the importance of the long-term goal over the sort of momentary desire. And that's, I think, one of those big tools that will help you succeed over time. But yeah, it's until you build that kind of stuff, it's like, this is hard. But so is riding a bike initially, right? It's like, you mean to tell me I have to balance on this two-wheeled thing? Not fall off? This is really hard. You mean to tell me I have to take this ball, this inflated object, and throw it into this hoop? 10 feet in the air? You're insane. And then if you practice it, you get really good at it over time. So it's the same kind of thing. That applies to all kinds of stuff, not just diet either, but it also applies to your diet. So, or if it's a situation where it's like, I would like some bacon today, then it's like, fit bacon into your macros for the day. You can also do that, right? But I'm thinking of the situation where it's like, I've been in a deficit all day long. I'm gonna eat all this crap all of a sudden, like at the end of the day. It's like, nope, don't do that. That's gonna get you a TO, Benjamin. That's gonna get you a TO. Government should make unhealthy food more clearly labeled and taxed. I don't know if it's the government's obligation to make you turn the food around and look at it. I don't think so, man. I don't think it's the government's responsibility to determine what you eat. I don't think you want that either, by the way. It's not a good idea. Why don't you just like spend some time like educating yourself on like what is gonna help you with your goals and what is not, right? You don't want the government telling you what you can and cannot eat. It's not good. It's not good. But yeah, I mean, having your health and, you know, having some knowledge about nutrition be a priority to you can definitely be a good thing. But yeah, I mean, take some responsibility by all means. Yeah, take some accountability. How do I feel about diets like keto? I feel like if the diet has a name, it's bullshit. If the diet has a name, it is bull, because it's just one more layer removed from what actually matters, which is tracking your calories, tracking your macros, and having that, you know, be according to what you want to achieve, right? Yeah. If the diet has a name, it's BS. This is what it is. That's like a good general rule. Doesn't apply in all situations, right? But it's like, it's one further step away from, you know, helping you understand what actually matters, right? This is what it is. The Seven Arena? Infrequently. Yeah, you don't necessarily want to have like extra tax on certain foods or whatever. Don't try the Bajheera diet? Nope. Because I would not call anything the Bajheera diet. Would not. Nope. Out with keto McDonald's, it doesn't matter. It doesn't, like, you could lose fat eating McDonald's if you wanted to as well, but it's just like, I don't really recommend it. It's not really like your diet is kind of like a budget, so you don't really want to use your budget on like crappy stuff, right? If you have a certain amount of calories for the day to get your nutrition in, you don't want to eat, you know, food that's not nutritious, ideally. Like, for example, you can get real fixated on particular food items. I don't really recommend it, but for me, like when I'm dieting, I've dieted on a variety of techniques. I've done super low carb. I've done like straight chicken and broccoli before. For my 2018 competition season, I dieted eating like a whole thing of chocolate granola every day. Because that's just what I felt like eating. And I hit my calories doing that. It just is what it is. And then most recently from a mini cut, I just, you know, I often tend to eat more green veggies and more protein and have that be kind of the baseline, maybe a little bit more healthy fats, and have that be the baseline of my diet. But you can do a lot of different ways. But it's about the deficit. Favorite snack? Doesn't matter. You're missing the point. Missing the point. Yep. That was pretty funny, huh, Sebo? Having him there that day. How have we only completed 58% of this quest? Everything is just tagged, I guess. I don't know. We'll get him. We'll get him. Just wondering? Yeah, I'm just saying. It's just irrelevant. I don't really snack, I guess is the answer to that. I don't really snack. But I can think of what my diet is approximately right now. Hey, boy. Irrelevant. So the accounts are all about the diffs, are they? No, I like my job. Yeah, that's what I saw that, Sebo. Yep. Yeah, usually when I say something like that, people like, whoa, let me stop you there, talking about all this deficit and how the individual food items that don't matter. What was this magic fat loss cereal that you ate? It's like, oh god. Let me stop you right there. Talking about all this tomfoolery about individual food items aren't really important, and it's really about the total caloric and macronutrient intake. What was that magical cereal that you ate that forced your body to burn fat? What was that? And I'm like, okay. Okay. Can you train yourself to eat foods you don't like? Yeah, probably. But you can also just eat foods that you like, right? And still lose fat doing it. But you know, you might want to sort of ease into, it's like, I only like eating pizza and chocolate cake. It's like, okay. So maybe we work on that a little bit. You can lose fat eating only pizza and chocolate cake, but you're probably not going to feel very good. It's not optimal, but you can do it. You can do it. Oatmeal with berries is a good start? Well, sure. But once again, it's not about the individual food items that you eat. It's about how it all adds up with your total output of an intake of calories, right? But yeah, I mean, learning how to eat more like green veggies and more lean protein is a great start. Great start. This magical liquid, magical fat loss liquid. Drinking water is great for sure. Saw Kelly must do the fast food thing. Yeah, he's nuts. He's nuts. But it seems to me that he can do just about whatever he wants to do. And be a beast, so power to him, dude. I don't think I want to go this way. I don't think so. Yeah, veggies are good stuff. But it might take a little bit of time to get used to it, right? Magic cereal sounds bitter. I hate to break it to you. It wasn't magical cereal. It was just what I felt like eating. But it had some protein, definitely had plenty of carbohydrates, a little bit of fat. Ate a big meal after training for the morning, and then I worked out again later that day and had something small before I went to bed, and that was my diet at that time, you know? This is what it is. Monk is pretty crazy, yeah. Monk is pretty crazy. But, you know, I'll eat differently at different times, you know, over the years. Lost 30 pounds in 2 months, eating 5 Guys burgers every day with lunch with no bun. Well, there you go. Sounds like you were in a deficit. What about a tea to lose weight? 100% bullshit. Sorry. If it factors into a deficit in some way, and that helps you stick to your diet and makes you feel good, awesome. But it ain't the tea that's making you lose weight, right? That ain't it. Are there way more rank 1 players playing 1800 bracket? I know that I've been doing like carries with viewers and stuff. I mean, guess what? You can. You can indeed. I would argue that that's even the way to do it. Yep, zombie. That definitely can happen. Absolutely. Let me draw thoughts on the topic. I mean, this is just very like basic stuff. But it's good to drill that basic stuff because it's actually the thing that matters and the thing that can make a difference. So, even though it gets a little bit repetitive, perhaps people listening, hopefully it helps. Yeah, that's not the right idea there, Quirky. Oh yeah. It's tough, Dizzy, it's tough. Can you reach 2.1k with 210 weapon? Absolutely. Absolutely. No doubt about it. Your body can survive off just water and bee pollen. Wouldn't recommend it. How about a Fury Warrior PvP guide? Sure. I'm sure we'll get that going at some point. Do I even have an emissary? I don't think... What was my emissary for the week? I'm just out here to get some... Oh, it was in Maldraxxus. Oh, I'm insane. I just wanted to get the quest done. For the anime power. What should we do today? If we're not scheduled for any kind of arena carries, we can just do Torghast. So we could be chatty and Torghast. Arena would be good though. But if we're having a chatty day, maybe we'll just do Twisted Corridors. 3s would be fantastic. It's still a little early, but we're on a little bit later, so maybe. Was he in Warcraft? Is he playing Warcraft 3? Oh my god. Warcraft 3, 3s would be good. 13 Mists? Eh. I'm a 15 only Mythic Pluser now. 15's minimum. Yeah, I mean, Turbo was good before, but it's good now too. They got, what, they buffed enhancement by 5%? It's a lot. It's a lot. Insane. Anyway, that's what we're talking about right now, is I would like to. Arena would be swell. 3%, not bad. Not too shabby. That's a big boy. Is he mad at me? He's mad at that other guy. Good. If you want to do double DPS on Warrior, wouldn't you go Fury? I mean, if you want to do double DPS on Warrior, it doesn't matter what you do. You're already making a mistake. Play whatever you want. Fury is actually probably less tanky than Arms, though. I think it heals less. Like, I feel like Ignore Pain is actually probably better than Fury in terms of what you get out of it. I think you're already making a mistake. Overwatch is good, yeah. Doesn't make double DPS as Warrior good, though. That's what you're asking? Oh, you're talking about Tech Junkie. Master and Commander, I mean, it's still probably okay. But, I mean, it's a nerf for sure. It's not nice. But it is what it is. It is what it is. But if you're playing in the casters, Overwatch is probably pretty good anyway. They'll ramp Pally's OP? Yeah, I bet it is. Just immense amounts of damage and off healing too. Me and S-Fan were playing some double ret in the pre-patch, and that was really fun. What would you recommend for someone who's workout for about 1.5 years, consistently, full body, upper, lower? Whatever. Whatever you enjoy, as long as you're getting a sufficient volume and progressive overload, you're probably going to progress. So I would just train in a way that you enjoy. So if full body fits your schedule and you enjoy those workouts better than upper lower or whatever, then do that. But if you like the upper lower better or push pull legs better or whatever, yeah, I think I'm 30 renown, yeah. Had a rough time killing Holy Pals. Yeah, Holy Pals are pretty good, man. I wouldn't feel too bad about that. What is he doing on Warcraft 3? What are you doing out there? In Warcraft 3. I use a blue baby bottle is the mic. Blue baby bottle. The Kieran one's kind of boring. It's only 3% spell damage. Yeah, I know. The Naya ones are pretty cool.